personally experienced in normals, if Xayah gets ahead, she has massive abilities to shred the entire team due to her higher AD builds and the piercing auto attacks she gets from her passive.
And both teams looking to go for that global. Actually, Orianna at the last minute there, switching her summoner spell to Barrier, leaving overall Team Legends 27 with a higher global presence in comparison to Tanuki here with 2 teleports.
Yeah, I think it was very good that Orianna ended up picking up the barrier. LeBlanc is going to be able to throw a lot of aggression at Orianna and try to burst her out. The real thing is whether Orianna will be able to survive that or not. With that barrier, that's a lower cooldown summoner spell that should enable her to keep in those fights and survive them, maybe even able to trade back and even damage onto LeBlanc if she ends up burning it.
Absolutely. And overall for jungle picks here, both Vi and Lee Sin, very powerful junglers, both very good at clearing their jungle proficiently. Lee Sin also able to give, I think, probably earlier ganks than Vi typically.
Absolutely, absolutely. Vi is utterly fantastic when it reaches 6 and she gets that incredible just dive pressure and the ability to pick someone out completely with a long target lockdown. Lee Sin, however, is incredible at engaging enemy teams to try to begin the CC chain or kick a carry out of position. Because if you can pop that carry with a diving Lee Sin, you're going to be able to win the team fight in a 4v5 when the ADC's down.
Lee Sin with that very potent combo of ward hopping and flashing behind a carry, throwing out his ult, and then following it up with a Q so he can leap onto them and continue the pressure and the damage onto a very specific person.
Absolutely. What we are going to be seeing is the Camille Poppy matchup up top. Camille has a lot of sustain with her W, giving her extra health back when she hits enemy champions in the outer cone of it. Poppy has a lot of tankiness, and she honestly has % health damage on that Q. The question is, with Camille's shield she gains from her passive, will Poppy be able to whittle her down and drive her out of lane, or will Camille's consistent damage aggro end up proving more effective than Poppy's tank-based strategy?
Yeah, along like with a matchup like against like Fiora, Poppy typically, in my opinion, wins in that case. Her ability, not in early mid game, however, but her late game scaling and tankiness is usually what wins out the matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like the bottom lane. Camille picks in the lane to win, whereas Poppy picks for the game to win, and vice versa for the Lulu and Nautilus, with Nautilus going in for that later team fights, whereas Lulu adds a lot of lane pressure and some survivability to her AD carry.
Absolutely. Looks like we're coming down to the last 6 seconds of this timer of delay that we are put into here. In a couple seconds here, we're going to see the final picks of both teams flashed up on the screen. So as we wait for that, what are your opinions on which way this game might sway, and like what are the picks here? Like what are they like trying to go for on either team?
Well, the Legends 27 are very much trying to find those picks, seeing if they can separate Tanuki and get picks, especially with that LeBlanc. If they're going a build that was popularized by one of the LCS players from Phoenix 1, they will essentially have 6 abilities at their disposal as far as damage goes, which can provide incredible bursts to a single target, hoping to be able to lock out that Ashe or kill that Orianna before the fights even start, sending it massively in favor of their team. But if Tanuki can stop that, they will have so much CC pressure and lockdown that the carries of LeBlanc and Xayah, LeBlanc not high consistency damage dealing mage. Xayah does have a lot of damage, but we have yet to see how she ends up falling out in this entire meta to see whether or not she will be effective at taking down such heavy teams with such heavy CC and engage. She has a great ult, but it can only be used once.
And the way I'm looking at it here also is that we appear to be seeing like a bigger wall being built by Team Tanuki as well, with that Nautilus and that Lee Sin here, as well as the Camille being able to go deep in and keep the Ashe and the Orianna well away from the danger here. And we also see 27 more going for I don't know how to say it. More of like a mobile comp. Like they want their team fight moving around and they're expecting it to evolve and change its location. Whereas Tanuki wants to lock it down on a specific area and just turn it into a death pit.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the difference, if Tanuki get to choose the engage, all of it honestly comes down onto Sub Rosia's Poppy. The Poppy will have to make sure that they are able to knock that Camille out, saving the carries and making it so that the Legends 27 have that ability to roam around and get that advantage that they need with their team comp.
Absolutely, and we are on the rift as both teams go into the laning phase, hoping to get some possible early wards on deep within the jungle.
Looks like both teams, it looks like Tanuki is actually running more of the 5-man. They might be looking to check out the enemy jungle, and it seems that they're definitely headed towards that red buff, seeing if they can get vision. There are 3 members of the Legends 27 nearby. No wards have caught anyone out yet, though.
Yeah, ping's being placed down to be careful, but that Vi is a bit singled out in this part. Not sure how deep Tanuki will decide to go on this invade here. Whether they're just going for the ward or maybe they're looking for blood.
Based off how they're hovering around, I'm wondering if they're ending up...
Uh-oh.
We have a game pause. This is not ideal.
All right, well, we're going to wait for this one to settle down, see what's going on, resolve any issues that have happened, and we will see you guys in a few moments.
And we are back, and it seems that Team Tanuki is going into the jungle. It seems they were spotted by that Lulu who was sitting in the brush. They chose the wrong one to check, and the Legends 27 not going to die to this engage or invade.
Yeah, going back there, trying to get their buffs all protected. Looks like Poppy, knowing that 5 members of Tanuki are in the bot side, is going to get that deep ward by Rev buff, which is going to provide vital information for this game in the early stages.
We're seeing both sides start in the bottom half of their jungle. Vi's taking her red buff, and Lisa is...
Ooh, Poppy gonna get in here, get some early damage. Picking up the shield there. Camille able to shield with it. Looks like this is gonna be quite the lengthy trade, but I don't think Poppy's gonna win out here. Both taking pots, trying to make it as even as they can.
Both of them seem to have gotten a pretty even trade between the two, and we're going to probably see more of that aggression style as the game progresses. I may have been wrong, but I don't think the Poppy actually was able to pick up that shield as the Camille dashed over it, blocking it, stepping over it so the Poppy could not actually activate that for the defensive step.
Ooh, LeBlanc already showing that early aggression to Orianna, but getting it right back with Ori's ball.
One thing that LeBlanc has to remember is these first few levels, Orianna can be extremely punishing. as a...
Uh-oh, Ash going to be going down here. First blood, Team 27. Nautilus going to have to back off here.
That level...
Zaya doing tons of damage to Ash.
That level 2 power spike Zaya has is absolutely incredible. When she has the ability to have 4 auto attacks that pierce when she uses her 2 ability combo. We are seeing a fight up top. Seems that Poppy is getting engaged on. Vi comes in and Poppy is still low. Vi is trying to do some damage, but Lee Sin comes in and gets the kill. Looks like Lee Sin is still around while Vi is wailing on her. Will anything go down?
Yep.
And Lee Sin dodges out of the way. Vi going for the punch, but she gets under tower, caught, gets hit by Camille. Camille is hitting. Poppy is teleporting back up. Will it be good enough? Not going to be in time. Orianna is here, punishes that Poppy. Poppy is low. She might even fall again if this engage goes sour. She's not able to pick up the Camille, and that is, oh, the minions finish the Camille, but that is still a massive trade for Tanuki.
Tanuki knowing the time to go in and able to trade off characters beautifully there, trading the damage off so that Vi nor Poppy could get in the damage they needed in order to secure a kill. But thankfully for them, the minions were there to cover the patches.
Poppy died twice in that fight. That has to be incredibly discouraging from just a playing perspective. When you go in and you die in a situation like that, you can usually shrug it off. And when you teleport back in, burning that summoner spell as well as your flash just a few moments later, trying to get those kills and end up barely getting one out because minions saved your skin, honestly has to feel pretty bad. And it's going to be a struggle for this Poppy to remember to play calm and to be more passive because of this advantage that this Camille has gotten early.
However, Poppy is doing very well in the CS department this early on, almost doubling Camille's CS here. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a skirmish here. Doesn't look like it's going to result in a kill, though. Vi and bot lane, though, going for Nautilus, who's trying to go for a deep ward, might get caught out here way too far, but it looks like he's going to be able to just walk cleanly out of there.
That still was some decent poke on a pretty tanky Nautilus, as Nautilus does just have such a high natural health bar. Looks like there were a couple of skill shots missed on the mid lane trade, but it seems that Orianna ended up winning that because the LeBlanc was not able to hit that crucial E skill shot.
And Poppy also having to have blown both her summoner spells here in that skirmish, as well as losing twice in a team fight, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. She is definitely not holding back and knows her limits as far as aggro goes. Able to pull up that W shield, which stops movement dash abilities that are jumping in and outside of it. Able to get a little more damage on that Camille. Lee Sin gank mid did provide quite a bit of cover, but it seems that right before he ganked, the LeBlanc actually very strongly won a trade, and his gank seems to have been the only thing that actually saved the Orianna's life.
Yeah, Lee Sin definitely doing what he's supposed to, getting those early ganks off and requiring Vi to respond, and in the case of up top, losing to Camille and Lee Sin. However, it looks like Vi going to be roaming on up top, or was that just a LeBlanc clone? I think that was just a LeBlanc clone.
That was just a LeBlanc clone. It can be very confusing with her ult having such versatility, whether it be trying to trick the enemies into thinking that you are in another lane by creating a body double of yourself, or creating one that casts abilities and is actually able to do some extra damage.
Looks like the jungle and the mid laner of Team Tanuki actually going to be moving down towards the bot side, trying to time that red buff. It looks like they're actually going to be there just at about the time it is going to spawn, and are going to probably be able to secure it as well. Let's take a look over there. Yep, red buff spawning, but they are spotted out by Ash, or Ash actually giving them more vision. Nautilus coming over to help as well. It looks like they're going to be able to secure this one cleanly right under the Legends 27's noses.
And that, unless the head of Kha'Zix can actually go into the enemy jungle and steal one of those buffs back, he's going to get 3 buffed, and that is such a huge detriment to your team. Even if it is in your jungle, when your opponent knows exactly how long is left on that buff, it gives them such an advantage at being able to take it again before you're ready. And that is one of the big strengths that junglers can pull from games, being able to steal their opponent's buffs and deny this immense pressure that these very powerful buffs give to either laners or the junglers themselves.
Looks like Lee Sin's going to be coming in for a potential gank, sitting way back, but getting spotted out by a ward in the back of the red buff for